We're grateful to have you tonight. Let's begin with the big one. And just before we hit the very big one, let me quickly inform you that the former spokesperson of, or the spokesperson of the former president, John Ejikun Kufuor, has denied rumors circulating on social media that the former First Lady, Mrs. Theresa Kufuor, has passed on. Mr. Ejikun said it is untrue and the lady is hale and hearty. Great. That's from the former presidency. Now, let's stay there on energy because energy experts say heads must roll at the VRA as power crises continue to cause disturbances in the country. And according to them, they indicated that the current generation capacity should double, especially when crude oil prices have reduced on the world market by 50%. The experts also want government to reduce fuel prices by 15%.
Now, if we were using, for instance, 50,000 barrels and now the price has dropped by 50%, then we should be able to buy 100,000 barrels and we shouldn't and generate more.
Yes, it's true. But that's what I'm saying, that in the long-term perspective, it's better to concentrate on build up your gas capacity to generate, because even at that level, if you generate with gas, it's still cheaper with gas. And therefore, it goes without saying that the prices are falling, and therefore you can buy more crude to generate the other, crude generated power, supplies. There's no doubt about that. But it needs planning, systematic planning. It needs planning the medium term to long term to see how all these forces come into play to make your power generation an efficient system, for your economic development. For example, our consumption, we are going to have 50% of, if $50 continues throughout the year, we are going to make 50% savings. There's no question about that. Nobody can argue with that, because we are importing 3.6 or so billion a year, and all of a sudden the price is half. At least we are going to save another 45 to 50% of this, and we should find a way to marshal these savings into some sector that will help to energize power generation and also businesses and so on. I think the government shouldn't be too stubborn about reducing the price of petrol, and other oil products, because this also has its own side benefits of oiling the economy. People are crying. People are crying that the cost of petrol products and so on is inhibiting, the efficient running of their businesses. And although the government says we owe some money and we need this, to write off those funds, we should also be able to reduce the price of petroleum products by another percent, 10% or 15%, because the benefits is much bigger than trying to recoup a lot of money, to pay off some debt. People's businesses must run. Energy sector, in the industry, in hotel, in the tourism industry, these are all important, aviation and so on and so forth. So I think the government shouldn't be too stubborn about reducing further the price of oil, because of the benefit, the externalities of it, which will help to oil the economy and run people's businesses efficiently.
We need to know the finances of the generation companies. For example, it sounds quite clear that if your budget for 2015 is pegged at $100 per barrel, and as we speak, early 2015 is around $15 per barrel.
Right, so those experts are asking that some fuel prices to be reduced, and also thinking that the VRA could do better with the crude oil prices there. Let's speak to John Gachi. He is a chartered economist from the University of Cape Coast. He just joined me on the phone lines. John, grateful to have you tonight.
Thank you.
So crude oil prices have dropped this low. The argument is that the Volta River Authority could generate more power because of the drop. Is that the argument?
Well, that argument is a straightforward one because if you look at many of the reasons that the VRA has been given when crude oil prices were high, it indicated that they were not able to import more to generate power. So now that the prices have gone more than 50% lower, it is only expected that they are in position to import more, given that their balance sheet is actually correct when they were talking about the high prices. We must also bear in mind that they are not only managing a generation mix that depend only on crude. It is very clear to all of us that the problem of Akosombo is as a result of a shortfall of rainfall into the dam. But the other side of the generation mix that comes from crude oil, one is expecting that they will not be given the same old excuses. So I believe the VRA should be in position to indicate to the entire country whether at the level of prices now, they are able to increase import of crude oil or not.
Now, if the VRA is giving excuses about its inability to generate more power, even though crude oil prices are down, does it suggest that some inefficiency within the circuit, the system?
Well, I think all that we need to do is to look at the pipeline of excuses that the VRA has been giving since 2013. You will realize that they have not changed. It is the same old excuses that they have been giving. So as to whether the public trusts them anymore with the level of excuses that they are giving is something that we need to check. But it has not changed. So they have more work to do to ensure that we have more confidence in them in trying to contribute to solving the problem, especially the short-term aspect of the problem of generating more power for distribution. So they have a lot to do. I think nations are built by engineers and scientists. VRA is made up of engineers. We expect that they solve our problem. We do not expect that they keep on giving us the excuses that they have been giving over the past 2 years. I think that is not acceptable. They need to change the game.
In changing the game, they, for instance, have always been talking about Akosombo's inability to get enough flow, and also earlier what they've been telling us about their inability to buy crude oil because of the prices. Now, if we look at the mix, the hydro and then generating power with crude oil, can we say that VRA can comfortably rely on generating power with crude oil to support the country's energy needs adequately?
It is very clear that at a certain level of prices, that is not cost effective to depend on crude.
Right, that was in the past.
The issue we are raising now is that the price is very low. There should be some flexibility in their budget, indeed, if they have a good budget for their operation. That is the point we're talking about. It is also to be put on record that the Etuabo gas plant was started, I think, 3 years ago. As a operator, key operator in the sector, one was expecting that they would have been preparing themselves to receive gas from Etuabo. It is surprising that VRA, where others are receiving gas, VRA is now saying that they will only be in position to receive gas from March.
Right.
That is not what we want to be hearing from VRA. In addition to that, the posturing when they trying to comment on the issue, I think is not helping. They need to change the game.
I'll very soon be speaking to the External and Corporate Affairs Director of VRA, Mr. Samuel Fletcher. But you tell me this. Now, if VRA continues to give these excuses, can we conclude that certainly the system they are running is inefficient?
Well, I do not want to conclude that, but they are disappointing us as a nation. That is what we are telling them. We rely on them to solve our problem, and they keep on telling a set of problems. And those set of problems, they change it from time to time, and we are not happy about that. I think that is what the people are expressing. They should find a way of telling us that they are able to resolve the problem. That is all that people want from them. We know that the larger solution to the entire problem is medium to long term.
But in the immediate, you think, you argue with that the VRA has what it takes to resolve the challenge, at least what we have now?
I think they should be able to solve the problem if they really have the grasp of the problem. I told you earlier on that all the excuses that VRA was giving from yesterday up to today are not different from what they were giving 2 years ago. That is where the problem is. And I also indicated to you that for us, the ordinary people, we do know that they were having problems in importing crude when the price was high.
Right.
Now the price is very low. We expect that they should be able to import more to generate power. As ordinary people, we know that planning demands that when the Atuabo gas was being put in place, VRA was also putting in plan to receive gas. So it was surprising that they are not ready up to now. They will only take in gas for generation in March. These are the things that we do not want to accept.
Grateful for you speaking to us tonight. John Kachi is a chartered economist. I'll try hard and reach Samuel Fletcher, the Corporate External Affairs and Corporate Affairs Director of the Volta River Authority, to put these questions to him, particularly the fact that crude oil prices are down, and then precisely I'm told that Mr. Fletcher isn't picking his phone. If you're around him, just wake him up, or if he's sleeping, and tell him that we had earlier agreed to speak to him on this particular issue. Let me speak to Mr. Fletcher. I'm told he's just joined me on phone. Mr. Fletcher, I'm grateful to have you tonight. The External and Corporate Affairs Director of Volta River Authority is joining us on phone. And Mr. Fletcher, if you've just joined us, grateful to have you tonight. Well, we'll try hard and reach him, but we're told that Mr. Engineer Kek Kofi has spoken about the issue of the dam really not getting enough inflows. I'm told Mr. Samuel Fletcher is on the phone. Mr. Fletcher, grateful to have you tonight. Well, we're trying hard to have some difficulty there, but we'll give you the opportunity to also tell us the situation there on the Dumso, wherever you live. The number you can reach us on is 0302763450. I'm just told by my producers that Mr. Fletcher has earlier agreed to speak to us, but he has just declined when he picked his phone to speak to us. Earlier in the day, energy correspondent Sandra Markwe had spoken to him to speak to us on this very particular issue. He had agreed to speak to us, but when he picked his phone a few minutes ago, he had declined to speak on this particular issue. But we're giving you the opportunity to tell us what you think about the energy situation and the fact that the VRA is unable to produce more power, even though crude oil prices are down, and the VRA is also not ready to take gas from Atuabo to produce gas. Time now for your agenda. Right, so 0302763450 is the phone line. You can reach me on. Talk to me about VRA's inability to produce more power, even though crude oil prices are down, and the fact that they are also not ready to receive gas from Twabo. Nicholas is from Techiman in the Bonahafo region. Nicholas, you're on air. Go ahead.
Good evening, brother. Thank you for this opportunity given to me. As you spoke to the man earlier on, and emphatically the word we are to use for VRA is inefficiency. He just don't want to use that word, but I will use that word. How am I saying this? When the crude price oil were high, these people have been coming out for 4 to 3 years now, always been telling us that they could not import more to generate the power.
Right.
Now, the prices of crude oil is very low. We expect that margin should have been bringing in order to get us more of the crude so that they can generate the power. Where lies the truth now? If it is the inefficiency, then a lot of them need to be fired. We are suffering, bro. We are suffering. Businesses are collapsing. A lot of things are collapsing. And always all that we hear is that excuses. We are fed up with these excuses, bro. Thank you. Then good evening.
Thank you too. Nicholas Techiman in the Bonahafo region there, sharing his views and opinions on that particular issue. VRA, crude oil prices now, and yet VRA is unable to produce more power, and they are yet also unable to receive gas from Atwabo. You can share your views and opinion. 0302-763-450 is the phone line. Tell me what you think about VRA's inability to produce more power, despite the fact that crude oil prices are low on the market. Let me go to Tamale because Yaya is ready. Yaya, you're on there. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Bright.
Yaya, I can hear you clearly. Go ahead.
I don't know anything about energy, but looking at the stating
Hello, Yaya. We've lost Yaya Tamale. Yaya, please try and get back to us on 0302-763-450. Yaya from Tamale, we just lost him. David is from the central region, precisely Cape Coast. David, please go ahead.
Hello.
Please, David, go ahead.
Okay. What I want to say is that, those that they have controlled the electricity system in Ghana, they have to be very careful because the architects, they are the people that, take charge of bridges, skyscrapers and so on. So they are also, they have the power to renovate things, they have the power to restore things, but they are not doing it. So what are they doing for? They have to be sacked and set the company for the white people to come and do what we want because they are wasting our time. You see, they are wasting the money, they are wasting everything without no reason, without no profit. Oh, what Bagana Abul? Abul Fan was the Bagana. We are prepared. What's the answer?
Grateful. David from Cape Coast there in the central region also sharing his views. 0302-763-450 there. Go ahead and tell me what you think about VRA's inability to produce more power despite the fact that crude oil prices are down. In the past, they have said high crude oil prices was a hindrance to producing more power. But crude oil prices are down, and yet Danso is from Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Danso, please go ahead.
Yeah, what is going on is we don't understand actually what is going on in the country now. We are in charge of our distribution, but
they are in charge of
giving us excuse that the crude oil prices is high, the water leak is running down, and yet when there is enough rain, we say we have this so. And now that the crude oil, the price has reduced, we are still having the same prices. So actually what is happening, VRA should come out and tell the actual truth, what is going on there. If they feel that the workload on them is too much, they should tell the government for the government to invite in foreigners to come and help us. We shouldn't rely on VRA. We are telling you these VRA excuses and whatever. You see, the whole country is in darkness. When you come to Kumasi now, and 3 hours you see that the lights go off. Every 3 hours, you ask anybody who is in Kumasi. And when they talk, they say it's ECD. When you talk, they say it's VRA. You see, when you call Samson French and you refuse to talk. Once the whole country is ready to listen to you, we are paying from our taxes. As you come out to tell us what is happening, for us to know, you say you are declined to comment on it. It is nice. It means they are taking us all right. Health must roll immediately. Samson Fletcher, if he feels that the work is too much for him, he should resign. They shouldn't say that they take 5 salary and be giving excuses. We are not to be paying them. And so far, I think it's enough. I'm done. Thank you.
Grateful. Danso from Kumasi. Yaya from Tamale is back on the line. Yaya, grateful you're back. Go ahead. You're on air now.
I would say they are sabotaging the government.
All right.
Looking at all what how is it that the crude oil is very low these days, and they cannot produce? They have no reason to tell us that they cannot produce enough the life for Ghanaians.
Right. Yaya from Tamale there also sharing his view. 0302763 450. Niama is also in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Niama, you're on air now.
Since I have Mr. Light within 2 weeks, you wouldn't come here. Now, because last day I buy the bar never, you did to be at 2 2. It is a 1 week so much and to me, yeah, on Omukanya in your light because this is your high at my phone, light in Yedma, Obia Macula, Echo form. So, the analysis will be now or local man. Overcolor Kotalpa, Oniska, and Tianesia, the marine. If they are so bad, I'll be at 2. Coming now, apostle, about the Duncaniano, that be by so. So, you have to yen to so. You do Canyan, they are yen to so, never, never. You say, before no matter, you do Canyan, they are never.
Grateful. Niama from Kumasi there, he is suggesting that the electricity keeps going off and yet the bills that are coming keeps rising, and he's asking that simply something should be done about it. Yeah, so here on News at 10, and of course, that's how we're wrapping up the big one. And on energy, don't forget that we made effort to speak to the External and Corporate Affairs Director of the Water River Authority. He had earlier agreed to speak to us, but he picked his phone and declined to speak on the subject. Grateful to have you. Stay on the big one.